Making tax painful. That is what HMRC have now done. They've badged it as making tax digital, but rather suspect that many of you, like me, will think this is nothing more than a painful exercise without very much benefit. And when I say not much benefit, I really mean is very little benefit, if any. And what's the pain here? Well, you submit tax returns once a year. And for 85% of you, one of you could be watching this video, 85%, probably 8 of you, are submitting your tax return on the 30th or 31st of January each year. But you can't do that anymore. Oh dear. You could be in a position where you have to file 11 tax returns. And I'm going to explain why I got to that number. So making tax digital, what is painful? Well, MTD rules coming from April 2026, deadlines, penalties, fines, etc. This video is helping you to understand how to work out whether you need to do MTD or not. Really important. My name is Simon Misiewicz from Optimise Accountants. I help you property investors and landlords save tax whilst building your wealth. There's our website and you can have a look at that at any time. There's lots of stuff that you can download for free or use for free. There's our QR codes. One is for the property tax ebook, QR code just there. Also, we have a property tax training course that you can undertake right now. No signups, no fees, anything. There's a QR code. Links for both of them will be in the description box below. If you're looking for fellow property investors, property sources, joint venture opportunities, or property developers or solicitors, you name it, anyone that you think could help you in your property world, then look no further than the QR code that I'm sharing on my screen. And there's going to be a list of people that are willing to be contacted by you and to support you on your journey. And it's split by location as well. If you want to be added to that map, feel free to send me a message and we can have a chat about your particular service. So the problems that you face, thousands of landlords are sleepwalking into HMRC fines. I don't think it's sleepwalking necessarily. Many of you will be just overwhelmed. Many of you may not even be aware of what MTD is. Some of you may be comfortable, and there's going to be a cross spectrum of all people in this situation. But the big thing for me is the use of Excel shoeboxes is no longer going to be fit for purpose going forwards. I would say digitize your financials as quickly as possible. Now, when do you need to do MTD, making tax digital? As a landlord, self-employed person. And the big key thing is, before I get to the detail here, it's looking at your gross income, the amount of money you receive from tenants, the amount of money that you receive from your customers. You need to add up the gross income of your rental income and your self-employment income. And those two combined will dictate whether you should be compliant with MTD or not. And please note, it is based on your income, gross income received, ignoring costs. It's not looking at profit. It doesn't matter if you've had losses carried forward from previous years. It's just looking at your income, your gross income. And one thing you'll notice is that it's got the 26-27, which basically means MTD from the 6th of April 2026, and then each of the columns will follow. This is all going to be based on your previous year. So to meet the criteria of 2026-27, you've got to look at your actual gross income and gross income from self-employment and property in your 25-26 tax return. So let's go through it. Your combined income from self-employment and property income, if it was more than £50,000 or more in 2025-26, you will be required to do MTD from 2026-27. If you don't meet that criteria, great, you don't need to register. But it might not help you in the next year, because if your 2026-27 tax year shows a gross income of more than £30,000 or £30,000 or more, then you would be required to file MTD on a quarterly basis from 2027-28 and so on. Now, if you've got gross income of less than £20,000, you do not need to worry about MTD right now, but I will suspect that will change in the future. So there's the criteria. Now, the one caveat to this whole thing, let's imagine that you're in a partnership. So right now I'm talking about self-employed that put this on their tax return. I'm talking about people that do put on their property income on their tax return, but not for partnerships. Partnerships that have LLPs or standard partnerships, which then goes into the self-assessment tax return, are not affected by making tax digital. Really important for you to know that. Ideas for you to take away this pain. Open up a metal bank account. Really important. Open up a free agent bookkeeping system, and the combined two, having a metal bank which is owned by, well, part of the NatWest group, and having free agent means that you get free banking, free bookkeeping. Really, really advantageous for you. So MTD doesn't need to be a cost constraint on you at all. Some of the things that you may also want to consider is working with accountants. I know. It means that you're going to have to spend more money with us at Optimise Accountants. No, it doesn't mean that at all. But you might want to work with your accountant on an ad hoc basis to help you get set up with MTD for you to maintain yourself. You may decide, well, I can do the bookkeeping myself on a monthly basis, but I want some help with my accountant on a quarterly basis. Fine. You may be in a position where you say, well, actually, I could do the whole thing myself and I don't need an accountant. That is also possible, but I would at least suggest to you that you work with an accountant at the year end just to look over things to make sure everything is correct, at least in the first year. And second year, if you're used to it, fine. Get trained and prepared now. So I'm talking about if you're using a piece of software that you've identified you like the look of using their trials or whatever, then I would say get trained now. Even if you don't need to do MTD right now, it's better to be trained and understand the systems before you have to go through MTD and avoid all that stress. At least you can do it over a steady period of time. If you're going to be using Free Agent or Xero, we can help you with both of those systems. We can get you set up and make things a little bit easier for you. Use property reporting. It does help you to understand, using these systems, which properties are making the best income. And I'm talking about net income now, not gross income. So profits in that case. And find out which ones are your stars, which ones are your dogs. So which ones are your stars are the ones that make lots of money. You should keep those. Which ones are making the barking noises because they're not very good. They make losses every single year. Maybe now is a good time for you to review that and sell off those properties. Hopefully that's been useful. My name is Simon Misiewicz. Why don't you book a 10-minute discovery call with me using that QR code that's shown on the screen. Also, the link will be in the description box below.